Hey everyone, Mike Zarelli here again, and today I have a 2025 Volkswagen Taos SE. This is my loaner car that I was able to get today when I dropped off my 2024 for service. There's a couple of different differences that I've noticed, and I'm going to point out to you. Some things I'm kind of okay with, and some things I actually prefer on my 2024. So all said and done, I'd say I'm pretty happy that I ended up getting the 24. But let's get into this. I'll show you them in just a second. So overall on the exterior and some basic engine differences, starting with the exterior, the grille was actually made a little bit more pronounced from the 2024, which to me, I think it's a little bit more pronounced than I would actually like to see. I'm gonna have to say I prefer, the more subdued cladding and honeycomb kind of grille here on my car, the 2024 versus the 2025. I will also say one thing with VW, in my opinion, they're really hit or miss with their wheel design. I'm gonna have to say I don't really particularly care for these wheels. I think they sort of missed the mark on them. Of course, VW has a bunch of different options you can choose from, but I think these ones are pretty standard for the SE. And then the other thing that's different, which actually I don't mind, is on the back you've got the light bar that goes from side to side. That's one sort of difference that I'm gonna say I don't really mind. I don't think it looks too bad. As far as changes, I think that one's acceptable. Stepping into the interior, there's also some differences between the 2024 and 2025 as well. They still brought over that sort of padded dash that they did in the 2024. This one actually has more of almost like a suede feel rather than sort of like the faux leathery feel that mine has. They also did some piano black and some of this kind of metal-like finishing. Piano black I think is fine in small amounts. Obviously it does do fingerprints and stuff. I'm gonna say I think mine looks a little classier. One thing I definitely don't like what they did, and if you've watched some of my videos before, I've referenced this. I do not like the touch, buttons. I like real buttons. I don't want to be driving and then have to look and see what I'm touching and then get fingerprints everywhere. I want to actually just be able to feel a knob or a button without even taking my eyes off the road. The seats are also just a little bit different, only in the actual stitching pattern. I will have to say maybe one of the better things that is in the 2025 is the seats, only because I'm feeling like there's a little bit more lumbar support in the driver's seat here, which that one is one thing that I'll definitely say they kind of did right with this one. The other thing that they've changed is this infotainment screen as well. I think it's actually technically a little bigger than the 2024. I don't really notice a big difference from the one in my car. Actually, if anything, once again, I do have to say in the 2024, I like how it was actually integrated into the dashboard. This 2025, it's kind of sticks out and it becomes almost a little bit more of like this, pop-up piece. I don't think it really did anything. I noticed that it's more at a sort of flat angle rather than being, tilted back a little bit, which I'm not sure it really even helps. So I'm not going to say that that's really made any better, but I guess it's just, a different change for the year. And finally, one more comment on the 24 to the 25 in terms of performance. The 2024 has 158 horsepower. This one they've bumped up to 174, so it's 158 versus 174. I'm gonna say, and it might be because I did the performance air filter in my 2024, I don't feel like this one is that much faster. I would think that I'd actually be able to feel that, and even if I'm driving this one in sport, I'm not really feeling that big of a difference. So you might feel a little bit, but it's nothing really to be sort of making a big note about. And one more thing that I'm kind of bummed out about, as I always usually start my videos out, right here by the quarter panel, I like my little Taos badge, and they got rid of it for 2025. So overall, I think I actually like my 2024 better. I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.